Traders, do not forget about the mini Russell here. I want to show you some numbers from February. This is the chart that I show in the live room for the mini Russell. It's essentially the Spitfire with the addition of our DSR levels here. The real driver of the performance of this model is the SOS2 entry with an 18-tick fixed stop and an exit on the fibs. The fibs are set slightly different for the mini Russell. The visuals are exactly the same. So with that in mind, let me just show you a few things here. SOS2 entry, 18-tick fixed stop, 3 hours in the morning, February, 1 reentry per trend, 2,740 on one contract. That's 3 hours in the morning, okay? What's interesting here is that short trades trumped long trades just by a bit, despite the market being in a very bullish state and moving up to some new highs here. We actually had a slight edge on the short trades for the morning part of this trade strategy. The percent profitable, 55%. Number of trades, very manageable, under 40. Okay, and this is just for February on one contract. Another thing that you should take away, and I've got a couple things to show you here. Another thing to take away is that losses being offset by the gains, over $2,500 of losses throughout that month. The visuals, exactly the same as we look at for gold. So re-entering a trend for the first trade of the morning, short here, out on the fibs, new dot, long, out on a stop, re-entry of the trend, moves in favor, out on the fibs, re-enter again, no, one re-entry per trend. That means you're not part of this move right here, just as an example. Losses, they happen and you don't know where they're going to happen. I've got them tagged here in red because this is the flow of expectancy, and when you have gone through your back testing and your sim trading and it's time for you to jump in live, you're coming from the side here. You don't know where you're going to jump in. You could start at the top here and get into just one loss and then a couple winners, a couple losers, winner loser, and then a nice series of winners here, and that really gets the equity curve up in a hurry. You could jump in right here and have a majority of losers. So this is an area that you need to look at in your own testing and sim trading to see that you've got enough belief to trade through that. You don't know where you're going to walk in live when you do experience this, but this is a phenomenon. If you like to see a higher batting average, then a resting target's going to serve you better. However, the capture of some of these big momentum runs are not part of that type of a strategy, which will obviously have a lower win ratio, but they have great expectancy. So just something to consider there. That flow of expectancy does involve losses. You don't know where you're going to walk into that stream. That's why we spend so much time preparing for that inevitable reality when it actually happens. And it's unique for every trader where you walk in your flow there. Another question that I get a lot is, what if I lose X amount? Should I stop trading? When you phrase it that way, what you're talking about is being fear-based and not really staying with the rule set of the model and being more worried about losses than thinking about the expectancy of the model. Very few people think about the expectancy when they make that statement. This is a representation of losses here for the day, and really only one strong day here down. Would you pull the plug on a $200 loss within a day? Well, of course not, because we've obviously had days where we've been down more than 200 and finished in the green. That's not what this is showing us here. The real defense that you want to use is looking at the range that your market has. If it's got range, then you want to be taking those setups and signals that are part of your trade time. Stagnation is something that you can obviously monitor, but this is all about taking the setup and signal as you see it on the chart. Okay, so get the belief level up by doing your own testing. Get your sim trading underway. Okay, make sure that you've got some excellent repetitions there before you go live. Make sure you're properly funded, and this is a very easily attainable goal here. It's just a matter of being in front of the computer to do what that model needs you to do. That's the Spitfire on the mini Russell for February. We'll be looking at this first thing tomorrow, and we'll see you there.